first glance, this dresser is actually very beautiful and has a lot going for it. But as we look closer, we see the top finish is worn through. There are a few chips in the veneer, and the back is coming off. But the things I love about this one is the length of it. It's 6 feet long. The trimmer on the top drawers adds nice detail. The shape of the legs and base is great. But most of all, the tiny little ball knob pulls. I think they are the sweetest little things. They're tarnished and need some love, but I also love the delicate cup pulls. I'm so bummed that one of them is broken off. We'll have to replace all of them. Since I wanted to keep the ball pulls and they needed to be sprayed, I figured I needed to spray whatever other pulls I use for the bottom drawers. So I went to the Restore and found 6 new old pulls. To fill these chips in the veneer, I used just regular wood filler, but I did add a little bit of wood glue to give it a little bit more strength. So I've heard horror stories that people have sanded through the tops of their veneers. So I started with a finish sander with 220 grit, but that just wasn't doing the job. So I went to my orbital sander with 150 grit sandpaper and I went for it. And it still took a while, and I didn't get anywhere near going through the veneer. So it's something to be aware of, but I don't think it's something to be really worried about all the time. I filled all the holes to replace the hardware and then sanded all of that. And then to repair the back, I just pulled out some of the crooked staples, tapped the nice straight ones back in, and added a few new staples. And it's good as new. Then I just did some early American stain. It was the perfect color. I loved how it turned out. And then it was time to tape for painting. This always is a process. It takes a long time to get it all taped up, but it's always worth it. And especially with this project, I ended up doing so many coats of paint on this project, and you'll see why in just a minute. I started with just regular Kills water-based primer and did 2 coats of that, and then I started in with my paint. I just use Bare Premium Plus white straight off the shelf. I don't ever get it tinted, and I love the color that it turns out. And then we see that the tannins from the wood were coming through the paint. So I knew at this point that an oil-based primer was really the way to do it, but I didn't have any at the moment. And my husband had the idea that maybe if we painted it a darker color and then put the white on top, that maybe that would do it. So that's what I tried. But lesson learned, it didn't work. I painted this medium gray paint on it, and then I painted another coat of white paint, and it just seeped right through. So I did 2 coats of oil-based primer, then 2 more coats of white paint, and then 2 coats of our top coat brushing lacquer. And even though taping up the drawers and the dresser is always kind of tedious and takes a long time, it's always kind of fun to take this off. And my little guy, he had to get in the action too, and he just had so much fun. It really was like Christmas morning watching him open these drawers, taking off the plastic and the tape. I had a hard time keeping up with him. He was just going so fast from one to the next. It was fun to watch him. I love that my kids can be involved in the things that I'm doing.
There, that's good. Thanks for your help. Yeah.
With all the painting done and all the drawers put back together, I put gold spray painted hardware on, and I really just didn't love it. I didn't love the combination of the stained top, the white, and this particular gold color. It just didn't look right to me. So Amazon to the rescue. I like this style of hardware because they have a solid bar and they cover up any previous holes. And I also like the knob pulls that we did. They have more of an angular feel to them and they match the hardware and the dresser really well. Let's take a look back at where we started. It was a little bit rough, found it at a thrift store, but it still had a lot of good life in it. It had solid construction drawers and the base was solid as well. Even though this project was a little bit of trouble because we had to do lots of painting and we ended up changing the hardware, switching it out, changing it again. It was totally worth it. I think it turned out really beautiful and the sweet couple that bought it from us just loved it. They were really excited to put it in their living room as their TV stand. So we're happy for them. I hope this gives you some idea of just to keep on going. Sometimes your projects don't go as planned, but just give it another try. Thanks for watching.